So I'm having a chat with a couple of members of the Quireboys. How are you both?
Very well, thank you.
I'm
How are you
good.
doing,
I'm good.
Nigel? Nice to see you,
Oh,
funny
how
lad.
you doing, mate? All
I'm
right.
all right.
The best interviews are those that take place between the two of you. But I'll jump in. I'll jump in when I need to. So look, we'll jump in because I've been playing a new single of yours. Could I think I got it all? I think I got it wrong again. Tell us
Yes,
about
you
the
have got it
single.
right again.
Yeah, you nearly did. Yeah,
I was being too confident with it.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Me and Nigel wrote that.
We sure did somehow.
Which bit did you write?
All the good bits, all the bits you couldn't remember.
Oh dear,
Well, is it raining where you are, Spike?
I haven't been outside yet.
Oh, pouring down here.
I'm stuck in the pit. Yeah. Oh. Anyway, Jim, how you doing,
I'm
pal?
I'm all right. Yeah, we're good. I'll probably play the single after this interview. So
Oh, great.
Spike, tell us about the single.
It's just one of many that we had. We had about, I think, about 20, something like that. We recorded about 15. How many do we put in the album? 11 or
There's
12 or something?
11 on the
11.
album. Yeah.
So just, yeah, we just, we whittled them all down and, there'll be some other releases soon, I guess. But yeah, going into next year for hopefully we'll be doing some festivals and different things like that we're getting booked on now. So, yeah, we're going to keep it going.
Nice.
We're going to keep rock and roll alive, mate.
That's what you got to do. It's what you got to do. And
Yeah.
I mean, this single's off a new record of yours, which is out now. For those who've not had the chance to take a listen, what can we expect on the record?
Well, if you like British rock and roll, we've went, it's basically how we started the band, isn't it, Nige? I mean, people forget it. We only ever used to have one guitar until Ginger joined.
Hmm.
And so we wanted to get back to that sound and give it more space and keep in the tradition of what we were doing, which is like, a bit country, a bit folk, a bit everything, a bit rock and roll, all that type of stuff. Keep it very British, really.
Yeah, you always run into trouble with two guitar players of leaving them unattended, and then it could run off like a runaway train. So we wanted to try to rein it in a bit so that we could. That's how we started with one guitar, and sometimes two is just one too many.
Yeah. But it's worked. Luke is a perfect. Luckily, Luke Morley was around when we first started, when he was in Terraplane, when he used to do the marquee and everything. So he'd seen us a lot with just Guy Bailey, and that was the whole the premise of doing it, going back to that. And as Luke was telling us, he was like going, when Guy passed away, it was horrific for everybody.
Hmm.
And Luke was a good pal of Guy's as well, and I was speaking to him, and we'd done the song Jesus Louise, and I said, he was like, it's going to be really difficult to replace Guy. As Jim Cregan said, who produced the first album when I was speaking to him. And he says, Jim was like, I couldn't play like Guy Bailey. And then Luke, I says, Luke, would you mind playing on this song? And then that one song led to another song, and then another one. And he went, I know what you're doing here. So it was like,
Yeah.
And then, unfortunately, Sunday on the hiatus at the minute. And we all go back so far. So it was great to get him involved, and he's done an amazing job. He really has.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he produced the album as well. What was it like getting him on board and filling in the slot that was needed?
Do you know what? Luke's done so many albums, and we all have, and he has some brilliant ideas. I mean, if you even listen to the track Water Street, that's only two chords, and so we wanted to keep it very basic, very simple, and he's done an amazing job. Yeah,
Good.
really good.
Good. And you've been releasing music for many years now. How have you guys evolved? How has the music evolved over those years?
Well, actually, we just went back to square one now.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say we're all around the houses to end up back where we started, really. But sometimes it takes a lifetime to do that, and that's the way it goes. You just end up going back to basics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
What was it intentional to go back to how it used to be, or is it just how
Well,
it turned out?
well, the way that I was wrote with Guy, and the way that we've always done songs is keep them very basic,
Mm.
and that's the hardest thing to do, because sometimes you can just have too many chords of a song. You can. I think the best thing to do is just keep it very basic for our style of music, which is basically English British rock and roll. Is to keep it like that, and I'm sure you can hear all our influences coming through from Chuck Berry to the Stones and everything, and that's how that's what we wanted to sound like when we first started. We didn't want to. We're not an American band. We're not Americana. We're British rock and roll.
Yeah.
Aren't we, Nige?
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
Plus,
We
Nige
are.
can only play 3 chords.
Yeah, well, I don't play chords on the bass, but if I did, I'd only play 3 of them. Yeah, I mean, as I said before, you get I think everyone can overcomplicate everything, and you spend your whole life using big producers, big studios, orchestras in, and then you got this in and that in, and you go, okay, we've done all that. What do we do now? I'll go, well, go back to where we started it from. Keep it simple and stuff.
Yeah.
It's always about the song at the end of the day and the feeling a band gives to a song. You can't, if you get too complicated, you can mess it up quite often.
I mean, me and Nigel go back when we first met when we were about 17 or 18 in London, and it would be like Stevie Marriott's Packet of 3 and all that type of stuff playing, wasn't it, Nigel, in the clubs?
Yeah.
We actually played with Stevie Marriott, didn't we, at the Astoria? Remember that?
No,
there was only about 50 people there.
Yeah.
But he done that. It was only 50. It was heartbreaking because it was like there wasn't many people there. We supported him, but he came on at the end and just played the harp. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
The harp. He was just incredible. So things like that stick with you when you're a kid.
Yeah,
so,
always those first shows you go to are the ones you remember the most. You know what I mean?
Looks like you were UFO and everything.
Yeah, it was the first gig. Well, the first gig I ever did was Queen, actually. So,
really?
like you didn't want to copy them. But the second gig was actually the second gig I went to was UFO with Girl and Phil Lewis opening, 1980.
I was about 13 or 14 when I seen UFO. There was UFO and Girl was supporting them.
Yeah, it was 1980.
Newcastle Mayfair.
Yeah,
and I remember that there was lots of people that had scarves that said "girl" or "shit," and then when you think about it now, they must have had to go to a lot of effort to make the scarves in the 80s with the
they had to go to the print shop.
Girl were great.
Our Girl were good. Yeah, it's funny because we've known Phil Lewis ever since. In fact, one of our big American tours was with LA Guns opening for
He's
Phil
such
Lewis.
a drama queen, isn't he?
Yeah, oh God, yeah.
We all love Phil.
You guys have been talking about touring, and you guys are actually heading out on tour shortly as well. Are you ready?
Yeah.
And I bet you can't wait to be doing some shows.
Do you know?
No, I know. Yeah, it's all the hanging around in between. It gets really boring. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, well, now we're on a countdown, under a month. So, but then even less, we're going to start rehearsing. But yeah, we can't wait. So
we're actually going to rehearse.
We do our best work.
Yeah. But every day's been busy anyway. We've been doing interviews and doing loads of stuff. So it's all been, I haven't really stopped, to tell you the truth. But do you know it's going to be great just to get on stage for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and have some peace and quiet.
Yeah.
No phone.
No texting.
Shouting at you.
No one asking you questions. It really is very peaceful up there. You really get into the zone.
Yeah. It's like, oh, thank God we're on stage and anybody can get in touch with. Yeah.
They told me the iPhone was going to make life simpler. I don't think it did.
Yeah. See, in our day, we never had phones, thank God.
Yeah, you know what? I was thinking about the other day. I was like, how the hell? Okay, so this is how my day used to go, right? I'd come back in or wake up in the morning and there'd be a sticky note on the telephone, rotary telephone, and it'd say, some bloke called Spike called, meet him at Oval Tube Station at 12 o'clock. And it was on a stick. My mum had written it down, you know what I mean? So I'd take that and I'd grab my guitar, which weighed about 50 pounds, and a broken handle, and I walked a mile to the tube station and get down to South London. Then we go rehearse. But I had to get my whole life was around sticky messages on a rotary phone.
Nigel, nothing has ever changed because you still carry that guitar out in a black bin liner. You're gonna have to get the guitar case.
They're too heavy. I just have to get a car.
All right.
Sounds like touring could be fun with you guys.
Yeah, we're not as bad. You know, we know what we're doing now, so we just take it easy.
Yeah, absolutely. I like to talk about the writing side of things as well. So for you guys, how do tracks normally start off?
Whatever.
Can't think.
Usually you'll see a G,
writer's block.
Yeah, and then just you know what? All the time, at the minute, I'm doing this Geordie folk album, which is really great. I'm really enjoying that. But you think of there's always certain people that say stuff to you, and you put it in your memory bank. You know what I mean? I don't think any of us really. When I'm going to do an album, I sit down and do it. You know, it's not I don't like write every day, but I have been writing every day lately because of this other album I'm doing. Me Geordie folk album, like.
Hey, man. Brilliant.
I've been really enjoying doing that. So yeah, we just that's the way to do it. You know, we just you know, you gotta have something. I always think as long as you got something you can whistle. You know what I mean?
Guy Bailey used to say, "I love a tune you can whistle."
And no chords with numbers in.
Yeah, straightforward.
Yeah.
Nice. Guys.
Actually, go on.
No, go on. You go on.
I was going to say, on this album, it's funny because Spike had all these songs written in his big book with all the chords and stuff. And then we would just like sit through and go, and he's trying to think of words. So we just come up with like some of the, ripping stuff off the craziest stuff we could find. And we come up with some funny lines. We're not going to tell people where they came from. They're going to have to, if you figure out where some of the choruses came from, write on a self-addressed envelope and send it to the Quireboys, and we'll give you a prize you can guess.
We had such a laugh doing this.
Yeah.
There's some beautiful like medium paced songs and a couple of ballads and different things like that. So it's but it's all we always our band was always a good time rock and roll band, and that's the way it should stay. And plus we have everything's in the first person usually. It's like it's from the heart basically.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, it's been a pleasure having a chat with you.
Thank you very much for having me, Jim.